Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Anything else? Happy Gemini season. I saw you guys on Monday and we talked about Gemini season, but now we're into the swing of things. So happy Gemini season. Let's see who's here today. Feel free to say hello. Let us know where you're joining from. Jackie says greetings, Jackie, and all the lovelies here. Thanks, Jackie. Christine says happy Wednesday, Jackie and Tribe. Happy full moon tomorrow. Melissa, hello from Colorado. I'm going to Colorado in July. I just booked my flight yesterday. My cousin, my male cousin, he's like my brother from another mother. Our moms are sisters. He's in Denver and he's getting married. So I'm going to his bachelor party because he was my man of honor and I'm going to be his best lady at his wedding. Yeah, so I'll be in Colorado in July. I'm excited. Good morning, Christine. Hi, Lisa. Chanel, hello from Toronto. Hi, Bonnie. Good morning, Michelle. Greetings, Lori. Hi, Kaz. Jennifer, hi from Perth. I would love to visit Australia one of these days, too. Mari, hello from Estonia. Hi, Becky. Hi, Mimi. Debbie, good morning. Jackie says good day. April, the moon is amazing already here in Japan. Apparently it was amazing here last night too. My friend texted me to go look at the moon, but I didn't see it until much later and it was too cloudy, so I couldn't see it. Hopefully tonight I'll be able to get a glance at it. Kai's nice. I'm sure you'll have a good time. Of course, I have a good time doing anything. You can take me to like a rock museum and I'll have the time of my life. You can put me in a car and drive to the grocery store and I'll cry out of excitement. Eleanor, good evening. Jennifer, yes, it was. I thought the moon was full last night. We'll talk about the full moon today. We'll talk about Venus moving into Gemini, but let me first take a minute to let you know who the heck I am. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I'm joining you guys from Northern Illinois. And after we talk about astrology, we're going to pull some oracle cards to learn how to utilize this energy in alignment with our highest goods. Howard said it was glorious last night in San Diego. Jackie, who's not too far from me, says the moon was lovely here, eager to see it tonight over my nieces and nephews' graduation. Oh, that'll be gorgeous. That'll be so nice. I hope their graduation is at 8 p.m. so you can see the full moon, right? Before we get started, I want you guys to know that the Gemini course is posted live, ready to go on Insight Timer, as long as you use my link. So it's still processing on Insight Timer. However, if you're on my email list, I sent out an email yesterday with the link for the course. And if you are in the group that I have on Insight Timer, if you're in our spiritual community, I also put a link there yesterday as well. If you would like to get to the Gemini course, you can use my link tree, which is in my Insight Timer profile. Just click on the link and then everything that I ever talk about is always in that link tree. There you can find the Gemini Spotify playlist. These are just fun little free playlists that I put together. I interpret the energies of the zodiac season and then I think about what songs represent that energy. So it's just like a fun way to embody the energy every month. And then I've posted the audio version of my Gemini course. It's available here on Insight Timer. And there's also a video version of the course if you want. That is available through my Patreon shop. It has a slideshow presentation so you can follow along visually with what I'm talking about. And then I also add some extras. There's ecstatic dance to open and close the lesson on the video version. And then I also like to include bloopers just because I think they're hilarious. My husband calls me a nerd. I show him my blooper reel every time and he's like, "You're such an idiot. I can't believe you're doing this." But as I get better at making these courses, there's not as many bloopers. So this video, there's an up close and personal look at the Mancuso dogs. So if you guys want to see my dogs in their natural habitat, they get like a whole 3-minute interview on this video. It's just fun. It's just fun. So April says, oh, the moon literally just came up from the high rise across from me and is streaming in just where I am sitting right now on my veranda. That sounds amazing. Let's talk about the full moon. So today we're here to discuss two things that are both happening tomorrow, Thursday, May 23rd. Firstly, we have a full moon that will be at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. And then we also have Venus moving into Gemini. Full moons. Full moons are a time of completing cycles. They're a time of culmination and a time of celebration. And there's a lot of talk about how full moons are a time to release. And even I have a track on Insight Timer called Full Moon Releasing Affirmations. But as I learn more about the cycles, about astrology, about the universe, my understanding of things change. And so now I use the full moon as more of a celebration, marking the end of a journey, taking a load off and patting myself on the back. Then I use the waning phase, the 2 weeks after the full moon, to purge what I no longer need. So we are today approaching the party. I also refer to the full moon as the party when the party is in Sagittarius, as it is tomorrow. We are celebrating how much we've expanded, how much our consciousness has expanded, how far we've journeyed on our search for truth, and how much freedom we've obtained along the way. So party hardy, guys. Tomorrow we're raising a glass of kombucha to yourself because sometimes expansion is fun and easy, and sometimes the growing pains can be unbearable. So the full moon peaks tomorrow morning, Thursday, May 23rd at 8:53 a.m. That's Central Time. And the full moon happens at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. So if you know how to locate which house this full moon is happening within your chart, that might help you just to zone in a little bit on what area of your life might be calling for this big culminating celebration. However, just go with it. Whatever comes out during this explanation, just trust your intuition. Astrology is a guide, not a rule book. So this full moon is receiving an opposition from the Venus-Jupiter conjunction at 29 degrees of Taurus. So we have the full moon at 2 degrees of Sagittarius, and then across the sky, Venus and Jupiter are at 29 degrees of Taurus. And this opposition is important to this particular full moon because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, which makes Jupiter the ruler of this full moon. So Jupiter holds a lot of weight in the energies of our party that's happening tomorrow. So Jupiter, the ruler of this full moon, what is he doing? He's hanging out with Venus at the final degree of Taurus. And I feel Jupiter and Venus reminiscing together. So let me briefly describe these energies, and then I have a nice little story how I was envisioning all this, and that might make a little bit more sense. So we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth. Venus helps us see the value in things. And Taurus represents our physical resources and stability. So Jupiter, the ruler of this full moon, he's finishing up his year-long trip through Taurus. And at the full moon, I see him sipping a glass of kombucha at a party because Jupiter loves to party. Jupiter is Santa Claus energy, the Kool-Aid man. And this time it's the Sagittarius full moon, so Jupiter is hosting this party. And I see Jupiter looking around at all the decorations that he has been planning and crafting and creating for the last year. And Jupiter's looking at this whole spread of food presented for all of his friends that he has slowly put together over the year. By venturing outside of his comfort zone, he's tasted new things, he's learned what could pair together, and now it's finally coming together. And Jupiter is so fulfilled with his year-long hard work, and he's in the mood to celebrate. And here's Venus, his date for the night. Venus is the type of lady who walks around the party and reminds Jupiter of what it was like in the beginning and how far he's come. Remember, Jupiter, when you bought all this craft paper and you were overwhelmed with how long it was going to take you to make 1,000 paper flowers? Venus says, wow, look at how well your hard work paid off. And remember when you dared to add cayenne pepper to your lemon water because you were sick and you were desperate for healing? Remember how hard that was? Venus says, look at all the people who are now loving your lemon cayenne kombucha. It's the drink of the night. And as I tell this story, I'd like you guys to remember that the zodiac lives within you. The universe is within you. So there is a part of you that has been crafting and creating stability for the last year as Jupiter moved through Taurus. And there's a part of you that really, truly values every bit of effort that you've put into this. So tomorrow's full moon is the perfect opportunity to host a party for yourself, inside yourself, to celebrate the last year of hard work and dedication. But Venus has to be elsewhere. So after she recognizes and appreciates every bit of the party, she's off to move into Gemini. So Venus enters Gemini tomorrow, May 23rd, and she will remain in Gemini until June 17th. So Venus shows us what we value, and while she's in Gemini, she values communication, information, being in the know, learning, being curious. Venus in Gemini also values options, choices, and the ability to choose. Gemini is a mutable air sign. So Gemini thrives on changing its mind. Mutable is changing. Air is mind, mutable air. And sometimes there's a time and place for that. And this may feel like an odd transition as Venus leaves Taurus and enters Gemini, because Taurus helped Venus value stability. Oh, there's Piston. In Taurus, Venus valued stability, predictability, slow and steady progress. But now Venus is entering Gemini and she's able to see what needs to go. Venus in Gemini reminds us that it's okay to move on. And how timely is this? That she's walking into this mutable sign, the ability to let things go, right as the moon begins to wane down, from full down to new. This is the perfect time to surrender old mindsets. So I encourage you to really take some time to first celebrate yourself and how far you've expanded, how much you've opened your mind and what has come as a result of that. And the celebration may help make it more apparent of what hasn't served your expansion. Because when you count your blessings one by one and you name them out loud and you make a list, you'll notice what didn't make the list. And then over the next 2 weeks, as we wane down to the new moon, you can focus on detaching from the things that did not help you expand to where you are right now. Dara says, I'm sure you said this, but I missed it. I have not said it yet, and the comment disappeared, but yes, I do record my sessions and I post them on my YouTube channel. It's a free service for you guys to double benefit from what I'm doing, so I don't understand why that comment disappeared. What is the list we're making, Jacqui? It's how far you've expanded over the last year. How much you have adapted new mindsets, how far you stretched yourself in order to be able to reach new heights and reach new lengths. How big have you gotten? How much have you expanded your energy? It's Sagittarius and Jupiter energy. How far have you traveled to search for your truth? Suzanne, your natal Venus is in Gemini. Mine as well. Carrie, party hardy, woohoo! We'll see you in a bit. I see you said you have to leave. Hannah, can I ask what it means if this is 3 degrees from the descendant? So your descendant, for those who don't know, your descendant is a line in your chart. It's on the right side of your chart. It's directly across from your ascendant. Your ascendant is what you present. It's the beginning point of your personality. It's what you outwardly project about yourself. So I see the descendant on the opposite side. It's what you feel like you're not able to see within yourself. You might believe that there's things about the descendant that you don't have within yourself, so you search for other people who have those qualities. So if this full moon is happening 3 degrees away from your descendant, it's a celebration of how far you have expanded. So this could be finding what you like in other people. This could be what you're reflecting on over the last year, Hannah, is reflecting on the things that you thought you needed to get from other people and how much you have found those things within yourself. That's what I feel most strongly for that. Jacqui has moon in Sag. My white dog, Piston, who just came up, his moon is in Sag. He's a Pisces with a Sag moon. Michelle says, love your interpretation, giving me a great direction for my full moon ceremony. Celebration. Yeah, it's every full moon. I've started to shift my perspective of what the full moon actually is, because I do appreciate the cycle of new moon, new intentions, full moon, letting go. New intentions, letting go. New intentions, letting go. But then when do you get to celebrate? When do you get to say like, yeah, I did this. I set the new intention. It came true. Good job. Or like, this is the progress that I've made. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. When do you get that? If you're just setting new intentions and then letting stuff go, you got to celebrate sometimes. Howard's a Leo, moon in Aquarius with a rising Gemini. Right now here in this description of the Sagittarius new moon might not be a time to do all that. However, I do have a bunch of courses on Insight Timer. Astrology 101 has been super helpful for a lot of people. I give a basic description of what all the planets mean, what all the signs mean. I made it a long time ago. I can't remember what else is in there, but it's 13 days of just breaking astrology down so that you can interpret all of these things for yourself. Bonnie, this fits with the quotation that my husband sent to me and our family this morning that basically said to stop and enjoy what is going on now and focus less on the future, because right now is what you were praying for at one point. I love that, Bonnie. I love that so much. And of course, that is exactly what one of my card pulls said this morning, so I'll send you that picture later. However, card pulls for us right now, I'm going to do a group reading, and we are going to use 2 different decks. The first deck is, we're going to use the Animal Apothecary deck, and we're going to ask, how have we expanded over the last year? I love this deck because it has such anecdotal stories of what the animals are trying to teach us, and I feel like we're going to get a lot out of this. So how have we all expanded over the last year? And I'm using the last year because Jupiter is at the last degree of Taurus. He's about to move into Gemini, and it took him a year to go through Taurus. And wow, I'm just reflecting on a year ago. I remember I was trying to do YouTube Live at that time because I was having issues with my computer and the Insight Timer stream was getting all funky. And I broke down all the 12 houses on YouTube Live. And I was like, if Jupiter's moving through this house, it'll be like this. And if Jupiter's moving through this house, it'll be like this. And I'm just thinking back to like, I felt like a noob a year ago. And like, wow, I still feel like a noob, but like, wow, I'm a lot more advanced than I was back then. That's crazy. It's crazy. So we're going to ask the Animal Apothecary, how have we expanded over the last year? And if you're curious, that video is still up on my YouTube, so you can just go on my channel and search Jupiter and Taurus. It'll probably come right up. It might be a nice little reflection to help you realize how much you've grown. How much? How have we expanded over the last year? As I mentioned, this is going to be a group reading, but these messages are all for everyone. So the whole reading is going to be for you. The whole reading means something for you. But I like to help you guys practice your own intuitive practice. So I will show you the backs of the cards after they fall out. So you're going to see the same image 3 times. How have we expanded? And then if a certain card just feels different or right, or something changes when I hold up a card, that could mean that the universe would like you to pay more attention to that one specific card. So intuition comes in a whole bunch of ways, and I don't want you to marry to how your intuition works, because I feel like you can limit yourself that way, because we all have access to all clair senses. I promise, they're available for everyone. But if we focus in on like, I always get chills, I always get chills, I always get chills, and you're only waiting to get chills, you might miss that there's a bird calling on card 2. The same, you know, both times Jackie held it up, the same bird did the same thing. So it's a Sagittarius full moon, guys. Expand your consciousness, expand your options. How have we expanded over the last year? Intuition can speak to you in a multitude of ways. You know, I often look for my dogs because my dogs will help me interpret the cards. The animal kingdom is huge. Just anything that happens. Sometimes you get a ringing in your ear. Sometimes you have an itch or a twitch, or like the ad will start playing on the YouTube music you have playing behind you. If anything changes in your environment, that's a key that, I don't know, something's changing. Yeah, it's all up for interpretation, whatever it means for you. If you feel no change, if you feel nothing, your intuition is not broken, it might just mean that this whole reading holds an equal amount of importance for you. So, hello, Tiffany. How have we expanded over the last year? I'll show you the backs of the cards. Let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which ones are resonating with you, and I'll show them one more time just in case. Could you show what's on the bottom of the deck? Right now, Jackie? I'll show you guys one more time. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Do you want me to show it right now or at the end of the reading, Jackie? Oh, you said it right now. What's on the bottom of the deck is card number 6, the inner conflict resolution. Do you have this deck? Yeah, right? So you could read about that? Inner conflict resolution. You're welcome. All right, let's see who is working with which cards today. April 1, Eleanor 2, Jennifer 1 and 3, Nicole 1, Howard 1, Mimi 2, Bonnie 2, Varsha 1, Megan 3, April 1 and 2, Marianne 2, Nicole 2, another Nicole all, Michelle 3, Suzanne 3, Teresa 1, Howard, now it's 2, Christine 1, my dog walked away on 2 and 3. Karen all 3, Mary Alice all 3. Lisa started coughing on 1 but felt something around my heart all on 3. On all 3. Cool. Heather 1, Chantel 3, release 2, move forward. Kaz 3, Win 1, Jackie 2, Jackie 3, Jennifer 2, Sherry 3, Lori 2, Chanel 1, April 3. Christine, the birds are going wild for all 3 cards, so all. Okay, 1, weight off my shoulders. 2, a bird chirped and then a different one flew across the road in front of me. 3, glitchy vortex. Ella 3, but all. Rebecca 2 and 3. Dara all. Athena all 3. 2 and 3 were louder. Tara 2. Megan 2 and 3. Sophia, I noticed lately you tap on the cards reading who's working with which cards. Is there a reason for it? Just curious. I kind of just started doing it, and I feel like it's my way of connecting the name, the energy of your name with the card as I say it. I don't know why. It just started happening, and I like doing it. So, how have we expanded over the last year? Yeah, actually, now that you asked me that question, I'm just realizing how much emphasis I've always put on words. As much as I don't know how to pronounce words, I think maybe that's why I'm self-conscious about it, because I want to make sure that I'm saying the things correctly, because there's a reason why, there's a vibration, there's an energy that comes out with words. But I'm always very particular with what I say and how I say it, and I always want to make sure I'm pronouncing people's names right. So yeah, for me, there's something with the vocal vibration with intention. It's interesting. All right. How have we expanded over the last year? Card number 1 brings us card number 16. Opportunity comes from the woodpecker. Woodpecker is the only creature in the world who bangs its head against something 12,000 times a day. When woodpecker knocks on your card spread, it's a sign of resilience. Like woodpecker, you must be determined and persevere. If there seems to be an obstacle in your way, this is the beautiful confirmation to keep going. Look at Darla stretching out. Because nothing can stop you. No one and nothing can take you down. On the card image, woodpecker is knocking on a red door of opportunity. This mysterious door is easily looked past, even though it is right in front of your face. However, it holds the emblem of the bee and shares this message. There is an approaching opportunity in alignment with stepping into a more expansive version of yourself and fulfilling yet another part of your purpose. Opportunity is approaching. You must be increasingly aware. Now is the time to raise your head like woodpecker and persevere. Nothing can break you. The red door of opportunity has finally bestowed its grace upon you. You are so close. There is a cascade of red doors lined up, waiting for you. Once you enter through one door, you will be led to another. This is your moment. It is what you have been waiting for. But you must first take action and knock. These opportunities may come in the form of small requests you would ordinarily say no to. Any one of those seemingly small or arbitrary opportunities could be a doorway to something monumental, to fulfilling your purpose. It is your choice whether to knock on this door. Woodpecker's medicine suggests you choose to knock. So this card was worded in a future sense. This is coming for you, but our question was, how have we expanded over the last year? So pat yourself on the back for all of the doors that you chose to knock on and all of the small doors that you chose to open, because those small doors that you had the bravery and the courage to walk through are what have brought you to this place in order for you to expand farther. And if you continue on with that progress, if you continue that perseverance, that dedication, you might feel like you're walking through these tiny doors. You might feel like you're making these tiny little steps. But when you take a second and you reflect over the last year, how many small steps have you taken? How many small doors have you walked through? They're going to continue to be presented to you. So perhaps by reflecting on how many tiny little decisions have brought you to such an expanded place, that might help you learn to keep walking through those tiny little doorways. Does that make sense? Lisa, this question has got me emotional and you haven't even read yet. April, oh my God. Christina, bird. Yeah, you had a lot of birds. Also, it's lucky number 7. April pulled this card, and woodpecker has shown up in my yard for consecutive days the past week. Christine's mind is blown because the card was already talking about expansion. The story behind the look I had, when did I give the look? I think, wasn't it when the expansive came up? I think I was just like mind blown that we're asking, how have we expanded? And the first card is saying, hey, you've expanded. Athena, I have a bee sting on my foot currently. I think I got one the last full moon too. Haven't had stings in years. Interesting. Which foot is it right now, Athena? If it's your, oh no, I want to just see it. Left. Oh. So my interpretation of bees is like the busy bee mentality. It's busy, buzzing around, doing work, keeping yourself busy. And if it's coming on the feminine side, your left foot, maybe that's saying to slow down. It's the full moon. Celebrate. You've already done the work. This is time to sip on that kombucha. I don't know why I'm on such a kombucha kick today. Christine saw a show last night and they talked a lot about its beautiful red door. Interesting. Christine, that was so cool. Yes, Carrie, we've only read card number 1, so 2 more cards from this deck, and then we have another deck coming as well. April, the meaning for the totem is so interesting. Athena's had several foot injuries in this last year. Slow down has been the message I've interpreted both times. Maybe there's a different way to interpret it. Becky, I remember seeing woodpeckers right before meeting with you. Aw. Little doors, right? Little opportunities. Let's just start this adventure and see where it takes us. So cool. Chandra, my son pointed out a woodpecker the other day. Someone yesterday reminded me of all the progress I've made in the past year. So perfect. Kombucha is great for you. Even better when you brew yourself. Yeah, I used to live with a guy who brewed kombucha, and I took it for granted, and I didn't learn how to do it. I could do it, but yeah, it was really fun to watch him grow the SCOBY and everything. Martine, this is the Animal Apothecary deck. Howard, healing my root chakra red. Yes. Yes. If you guys have any fear, it means it's time to work on your root chakra. If there's anything that you're afraid of, you can work on your root chakra. If we were in a real life circle, I could bring you my extra mothers. I know, Athena. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. You can't put them in the mail. Just put them in like a hot box and mail the mold. All right, guys. How else have we expanded over the last year? Card number 2. Card number 10. Master Manifester. This comes from Raven, another bird. Raven lived a lonely life in the dark abyss of the universe with only one other creature, Spider. Anytime Spider crawled to Raven, Raven would freeze in terror, and Spider would sadly crawl away, for she did not want to scare Raven. Often you can find Raven gazing into the endless universe and dreaming about creating the world. Everything in his heart wanted to experience so much more, but he just didn't know how to create it. One day, Spider saw Raven projecting his dream into the universe. Spider crawled up to Raven, and, as usual, Raven froze in fear. Spider sadly looked up to Raven, suffocating in his fear. And right before Spider was about to dart away, she decided to use her voice. She said, "Dear Raven, I know you do not trust me, but I can help you." Raven seemed to snap out of his hypnotic state of terror, and for a moment looked down at Spider. Raven said, Spider said, "I can weave your dream into existence." It was at this moment that Raven understood. Not only did he have to befriend his fear, who was Spider, but that his fear is what held the gift to allow him to manifest his dream. Once Raven could accept and deeply love all aspects of himself, one being the Spider, who represented his fear, he then was able to become the ultimate magician, the Master Manifester. Raven's medicine says when you honor all aspects of your being, you become whole. Wholeness equates to self-love, and your wholeness supercharges your magnetism to attract and create. When you befriend the painful parts of your personality, you will find they are the ones that hold the secrets that allow you to fully step into your purpose. How interesting, right? Who was it? Howard said healing his root chakra red, and I was like, oh, red root chakra is fear. And then here comes the second card, facing your fears. I don't have these cards memorized. I didn't realize that was going to talk about that. So how have we expanded over the last year? I invite you to reflect on all of the scary decisions that you've made over this last year. What did you do that you had to bundle up all of your confidence and courage and step into the unknown? It might be easier to think that way and then think like, wow, look at everything I have because I did that. Or depending on how your brain works, you might be able to reflect and see like, ooh, I've gained all these things. What fear did I have to face to step into that? But over the last year, you've become a lot more comfortable in trusting yourself, in knowing that you have what it takes to face the fear, to face the spider. And you're developing this nice little relationship with the shadowy parts of life, because just because it's scary doesn't mean it's bad. Just because there's something about you that like your spleen is like, I don't know, you better wait. It doesn't mean that that's something that's here to hurt you. The more comfortable you get with talking to spiders, maybe the spiders will start to help you. So what have you done where you had to face a fear, and how far did that help you expand? First thing that comes to mind, last April is when I quit my part-time job. So I've been working solely for myself for 1 year. And, you know, it took a year to like lay my foundation. But how have I expanded? I had to face the fear of not having a consistent, predictable income. It was super scary. I didn't know how I was going to make my bills. But then that allowed me so much freedom to just do it. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. Like I'm so good at like getting stuff done and being diligent. And I had to take the scary step of leaving my security in order to find that quality more deeply in myself. I also recently, I told you guys I went on a trip with my husband a couple weeks ago, and I finally started opening up about stuff that I was feeling, because I still have a very small voice when it comes to other people sometimes, but I just started facing my fears and letting him know, hey, I feel this way about this. You might not like to hear that I'm uncomfortable with this and I don't like this, and it's creating such a stronger bond with us already. So that's how I've been facing my fears. How have you guys been facing your fears? Lisa has hugely confronted fear this last year. Athena, this card feels like a summary of last year too. So much spider medicine on this journey. When I see spider, I think everything is connected because the webs. And everything means shadowy aspects as much as light aspects. Tara, awesome, so affirming. Caught sight of a raven sticker I had forgot about as I shuffled through my journal just now. Of course. Mimi, this story's so cute and reminds me so much about a situation and a decision I have to make soon. Cool, I hope that helped. Carrie, not a fear factor so much as trust with the universe to manifest what I needed. Yes. Yeah. Fear doesn't have to be like terror. You know, there's levels of the feeling. Fear can just be uncertainty. Christine, I literally saved a spider and put it outside just before you picked this card, and that's a new thing for me in this last year. That's crazy. Melissa, I'm getting ready to upgrade to a 2-bedroom and trusting that the money will be there. Yeah, it's scary. Trusting that the money will be there is scary. But once you figure it out, man, it feels so good. It feels so good having trust. And all it takes to develop trust is to face your fears. It's really that easy. You get like rewarded for your courage. Like the universe sees you facing your fears and it's like, wow, I knew that was difficult. Here, good job. You earned this trust in me. All right, last card from this deck. How else have we expanded over the last year? I love this card. This is card number 25. Claim your power. And this is from Tiger. Anyone face to face with a tiger instantly shifts into a state of respect for her prolific power. Tiger summons you to connect with your greatest power, to overcome yourself, to overcome your doubts, fears, insecurities, and illusions of the ego, and to use boundaries. While many of the animals in the apothecary deck ask you to be accepting of your emotions, when this card comes up, it means enough is enough. Tiger does not appear now with the feminine energy of allowing. This is the masculine energy of taking action and creating what you want. It is time to care more about the end goal than the heavy emotions you are currently feeling. The action called for here is snap out of the illusion and get your thoughts in gear. When you change your thoughts of the world around you changes. Get in control of your thoughts and transform the story you tell yourself. You are not your feelings, so stop mistaking them for your identity. Shift perspective, conquer your emotions, and carve the life you desire. You can no longer submit to the identities and definitions that you once projected onto yourself and others. It is time to move forward and initiate your power. When you stand in your greatness, like a tiger, you have nothing to prove, for you just are. True power is not dictated or enforced. It is an energy that magnetizes others to want to help you in your cause. Once someone has to prove and display their strength, they've already lost it. Tiger's medicine says stop playing the victim of circumstance. Your power is even greater than Tiger's, yet you wallow in smallness and self-pity. How strange is it that one with so much power is so blinded by it? You feel imprisoned by your circumstances, yet the only prison is the story you painted over your circumstances. Tiger's medicine is to wake up, get real, change your story, change your life. Claim your power. How have we expanded over the last year? We have so strongly stepped into our power. And I'm not going to lie, this is something that I'm still learning. But over the last year, you've recognized that there's less that you have to do to prove that you're worthy of something. This is the power of, it is, what's that saying? Oh my God, it just left my mind. This is the energy of saying, this is what I want, and I know it's going to happen because I deserve it. And it's not saying I have to work 24 hours a day to make it happen. It's not saying I have to sacrifice everything I have to make it happen. This is the energy saying, I've already done the work, and now I'm waiting to reap my rewards. And I'm going to take the small, opportune steps towards what I desire. And along the way, I might need to face some fears, but I am powerful and I am worthy of the life that I desire. It feels like a wonderful 3-card spread explaining how we've expanded over this last year. Christine, another lucky 7. Yeah, we had 16 and 25. They both add up to 7. 7 and 7. Let me see what else. We got a lot of cards, or a lot of comments here. Athena, the second card, felt like a summary of last year. So much spider medicine on the journey. Tara, awesome. Oh, that's right. I already read that. Ravens are big birds. Odd that they have a fearful character. You know, and this card was kind of talking about that too. You have innate power. But if you're blind to it, you can act like a cub. Right? You are the tiger, but if you don't claim your tigerness, You're going to be walking around like a baby. Just like the raven, you know? It doesn't matter how big you are, how mean looking you are. It's a black bird, right? What's more intimidating than a solid black big bird? But fear can live in anyone. So the same, this tiny little woodpecker is dinky, but he has courage up the yin yang. He has so much courage. Just keep knocking, keep knocking, keep knocking. Christine, this resonates deeply. Michelle said, card number 3 is your card. And oh my God, this is exactly what I need. Been working towards this a ton lately. Megan, I had to really set some boundaries with a family member being around me, as enough was enough. I had just wrote that down after the last card. Oh, that's so cool. Kieran, mind over matter. Good afternoon. That's actually a song on my Gemini playlist. Mind over matter. Because Gemini's all about the mind. Athena, so aligned. Also just got a sweatshirt that says, easy tiger. Oh my gosh, of course you did. Suzanne, my main fear is putting myself out there, and I started taking art classes, and it has been so liberating to let others see something I created. Facing your fears. I faced my fears. I made that video. Okay, so here we go, guys. 2020, I had a giant awakening, right? I awoke to spirituality, and I awoke to some things about the world that I did not know up to that point. And I let that information almost like fester, right? I didn't ground it publicly. I talked about it with my friends. I talked about it with my husband. I talked about it with people who were in my bubble. I talked about it with people who believed what I believed. And it was like on the tip of my tongue. Every time I would come into a public space, it was on the tip of my tongue. And I just assumed that everyone was against me, right? I just assumed like, oh, the whole spiritual community believes one thing and I believe a separate thing. So I must be crazy. So I must be wrong. And then I faced my fear and I made a YouTube video about this is how I disagree with the mainstream spiritual community. And even some of my friends that I've found off of Insight Timer are in complete disagreement with my opinions, but there was no like hatred. There was no argument. No one left my following that I'm aware of. If it happened, cool. I'm not for those people, but I didn't lose the people that I was afraid to lose. Instead, I felt like, okay, I have an opinion and that's okay. I get to have an opinion. It doesn't mean that I have to fight about it. It doesn't mean that I have to like throw it in everyone's face all the time. But that was an opportunity where I faced my fear and it helped me expand, because now I don't feel like it's on the tip of my tongue anymore. Yes, Karen, a great song called Step Into My Power by Modern Headspace. Yes, that's a wonderful song. It's on my Capricorn playlist, I'm pretty sure. Master Manifester, Jackie. Yes, yes, yes. Still working on claiming my power, Lynn, after health issues. Lots of facing shadows and letting go. Well, the full moon is about celebrating yourself, right? I'm remembering the grand woodpecker wingspan the same as an eagle. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, Christine, I had to, if I didn't say what I was thinking, I wouldn't realize who I did connect with on those levels. I don't have to connect with everyone on all the levels. It's a whole thing. Where do we find the playlists, Ella? If you go into my Insight Timer profile, my link tree is there. It's the one link. And there, I have everything clearly labeled of what everything is. The playlist is right on top. It's the first thing. It's a free Spotify playlist. I release one for every zodiac season. I've also just released the Gemini course. So I guess I didn't tell you about it earlier. Every zodiac season beginning this year, I'm releasing a course. So I've done Aries, Taurus, and now Gemini. What it is the first day is describing what Gemini energy is all about. We go through the dates, the body part associated with Gemini, the qualities, the elements, the archetype, the tarot card. It's like a very deep dive into what this energy is all about. And then I give you guys an embodiment technique to pull the Gemini energy into your life, to use the energy that's available while the sun is moving through the zodiac sign. So here on Insight Timer, I have audio versions, and then I also have video versions available, and those links are all in my link tree. Cool. We're gonna ask one more question from one more deck. Thanks, Carrie. I have an eclectic music taste, and this is like, really feeds my soul to just share with people. There's a lot that goes on up here as I'm choosing those playlists. Thanks for the affirmation. All right, so we have this full moon celebrating how far we've expanded over the last year, which we got with that first card. We've been taking more opportunity, taking more small steps. That has helped us expand. We have faced a whole bunch of fears. That has helped us expand. And we have been able to step further into our power, claiming that we don't need to force it, that we just are it. Now, we also tomorrow have Venus moving into Gemini. Venus values Gemini, mutable air, letting go of mindsets that don't work, right? So I want to ask, this is the Gateway of Light activation deck. And we're going to ask this deck, what would Venus like us to let go of? Venus is in Gemini, May 23rd through June 17th. What would Venus like us to let go of? Feel free to send your energy into this deck. Ask, what would Venus like us to let go of while she's in Gemini? If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. If you haven't yet followed my Insight Timer profile page, feel free to do that so you can be notified when all my new classes are posted. If you came in a little bit late today, I record all these sessions and I put them on my YouTube channel. So you can just search my name on YouTube and watch the replay there. Or you can check out my link tree in my Insight Timer profile. All my links, all my socials, all my courses. You can sign up for my newsletter there. You can get information about my Patreon membership where we meet for the lunar events and go deeper in. There's a lot. But that's it. The Gemini course is what I'm most excited about right now. So, what would Venus like us to let go of? This is interesting. We're going to have to see how this plays out. So the card that we got is Seraphim's Gateway, Voice Activation, Angelic Attunement, Divine Support. April, I'll address your question right after I read this. The seraphim are the highest form of angelic beings who are said to radiate from the heart of Source. They have been described in many different ways through the ages, but what is common is the idea that a brilliant light emanates from them. The word seraphim means burning ones, for in ancient times, light was associated with fire, as this was the main source of light within homes. These beings of infinite light are essentially divine love that is taking on an angelic form in order to serve the universe. When they have appeared physically, they have been described as having 6 wings, and they are known for their heavenly voices. In fact, miraculous planetary shifts are reported to take place when they sing. In the heavenly realms, they sing in constant praise of the Creator. Other angelic presences report to them with regard to their spiritual duty, as it were. It doesn't operate in such a linear way, but this is the best way for us to understand the process. If you have ever woken up hearing your name being sung, the seraphim have visited you. When they come to you, know that you are blessed to be in the presence of angelic beings that emanate directly from the heart of Source. Their voices will help awaken the angelic presence you hold within, so that you can support the expansion of the world. You are blessed to receive the light of the seraphim. Know that these beings of infinite light are singing your name in the heavens to unlock the power of your own voice. Wow. Angelic support surrounds you at this time. Know that you are safe, for you are being held by the presence of love. The seraphim are witnessing the glory of your being and activating your angelic qualities. You care deeply about the welfare of the planet and all her beings. In fact, you are hoping to make a great difference in the world, and the reason for this is you are carrying angelic light. Let it shine on the world around you. What would Venus like us to let go of? The lock that we have on our own voice. I said wow because it said, know that these beings of infinite light are singing your name in the heavens to unlock the power of your own voice. Claim your power. Venus in Gemini values communication, values getting it out, speaking up. So what would Venus like us to let go of is the lock that we've put on our voice, the boundary that we've put on ourselves to not speak up for ourselves. Because by not speaking your truth, by not communicating, you're like neglecting the angelic qualities that live within you. I started the session reminding us that the whole universe is inside of us. And if angelic beings are out there, therefore, angelic beings are in here, and it's okay to own that. You don't have to be ashamed that you think you're magical. You don't have to be ashamed that you think you are heavenly and divine, because you are. So let it out. Let it out. This deck comes with a way to connect to the card, and I often skip over this because these readings are very, very long, but I'm going to read, it's a few sentences, because I feel like Venus really wants us to hear it this time. So, visualize yourself immersed in golden light. Then say, thank you, mighty seraphim, for blessing me with your loving presence and for supporting me in awakening the angelic qualities I have within. And if you would like to see that typed out, our good friend Bonnie puts all the text updates of the cards in our spiritual community. It's the group that I have on Insight Timer. So you can watch the replay on YouTube to get the whole video again, or you can hop into our spiritual community, and I send Bonnie the pictures of these and she just puts them right in. So you can reread everything in our spiritual community, which you can find through my Insight Timer profile. Holy crap. Just speak up. We've expanded. Don't be ashamed of how far you've expanded. You know, just speak up. If you've learned some things that are not in alignment with the people around you, just speak up. Talk about it. Talk about it. I've been learning a lot about what happens when you open your third eye, but there's blockages in the rest of the chakras. You lead yourself to psychosis. That's when you end up in grippy socks at an institution. That's when you are diagnosed schizophrenic because you know too much, you just haven't been able to ground it. So how do you ground it? You talk about it. You get it out. By making it come out through the energy of vibration of your voice, it helps affirm, do I actually believe this when I say it out loud? Or do I want to switch gears and go down a different path? So, just saying. That's been on my mind a lot for the last few years. I keep telling you guys that people come to me often and they say, Jacqui, there's no one like me. No one believes what I believe. There's a lot more out there than you think. You just got to speak up about it. You just got to start claiming this is my truth. Tracy, thank you so much for your donation. Very much appreciate that. Ella, it's when you have any chakras with blocks. If you have too much third eye opening, if all you do is focus on your third eye, but anything below that is blocked, you're going to go nuts. You are literally going to drive yourself crazy. Root chakra. We have expanded our root chakra over this last year. Keep going. Keep facing your fears. That's root chakra opening, guys, is facing your fears. And you know what root chakra does? Is it brings you stability. A healed root chakra brings you safety and stability. April, you said the Gemini course is not yet up on Insight. Maybe tomorrow? I'm not sure when Insight Timer is going to officially process it, but it's posted and they give me a link that I can share. So the link went out in my email list yesterday. So if you guys are on my subscription letter, use that link. The link is also in my it's in our spiritual community, the group on Insight Timer. I posted it yesterday in our spiritual community, and it's also in my link tree. So you got to use the specific link for the first few days until they finish processing it. Christine, there's that word expansion again. Yes, Christine woke up this morning saying, this is the day that I make a call for voice lessons. That wasn't angelic at all. Maybe your voice will be more angelic after those voice lessons. Ella, this is so deep. Yes, it was a great card. Overcoming my fears, April, of being seen and heard. Wow. Yes, tell me about it. A lot of us grew up that way. You're here to be seen, not heard, but it's still frightening. Carrie, we are divine beings having a human experience, striving to return to our divinity, using our human lessons to bring us back to divinity, yes. Chandra, I taught my first in-person cooking class yesterday since COVID and lost my voice. That's awesome, Chandra. It's coming back. Let it go. Becca and Christine, you guys are thanking Bonnie. She rocks. Athena, my voice is powerful, was an affirmation I was tapping in this whole year. Part of the culmination of this year has come to reveal how music continues to come to me, and it's time to start using my singing voice. Yes, 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 Athena. Lisa, I've just finished a book by Fearney Cotton. I hope I'm saying that right. Fearney Cotton, called Speak Your Truth. Megan says you'll find your tribe after you speak your truth. Athena, interesting. I used to be a psych nurse and play a lot with how it's all hormonal imbalances and our mistreatment is based on fear, but I'm untested to chew on the third eye, interested to chew on the third eye concept. April, got it. I have a voice training company. Cool. Okay, I had a message come through in my sleep to get ready to step into the Norse. Welcome the Norse. Like Viking Norse? I love it. Oh, you guys are making friends? I love that. I love seeing community building in these sessions. April's been chanting lately. Lolo fears making public comments. Okay, so here's what you can do. If you have these radical crazy opinions or whatever, if you just want to speak up and you feel like you're afraid to speak up, make a burner account. Make a anonymous Reddit account, make a burner Instagram, a burner whatever, and then just start getting your opinions out there and allow people, people are going to disagree with you. Some people are going to disagree with you. What I've found, the more I speak up about my truth, honestly, people are a little bit too afraid to backlash. I haven't gotten any feedback from anyone that I know that's negative. It's usually just random trolls who I don't know who you are. Why are you telling me that I need to live your life? Get out of here. So the more you start speaking up, the more comfortable you get with your truth. And especially if you do it on an anonymous account, you still get the processing. You still get the clearing of your thoughts, the clearing of your voice. And it's like practice. And I'm not saying to hide behind an anonymous account for the rest of your life, but that can be like ripping the Band-Aid. Ooh, I'm gonna post. Ooh, I don't like this person. This person was canceled from society. I think you guys are all nuts. Just start getting it out, and then it makes you more comfortable, and then you can start to step more into your authenticity. But if you hide behind it, you're never gonna get out there. I love many Aprils. Howard, I'd love to hear them. I had no judgment at all, and I'm always open to hearing, so if you want, you can always connect with me. Oh, cool, you guys are chatting. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll be back on Friday, because on Friday we're talking about Jupiter. Jupiter is leaving Taurus after a year's journey, and he's moving through Gemini for the upcoming year. So we'll talk all about that on Friday. Kay says, I just remembered I've been feeling really connected to the Vesvigir, whatever that word was, the symbol that came out when I used the Viking deck recently, and been intensely called to get it tattooed on my inner left forearm. I've been drawing it on pen, testing it out. There you go. Receiving direction. Love that. Athena, you saw someone the next day with that tattoo. That's so cool. I love it. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. It's always appreciated. Thank you for the donations. I will be back on Friday talking about Jupiter moving into Gemini. Oh, if you guys, I keep forgetting to mention this. I'm doing this new fun thing. When you guys send a donation, instead of just doing the boring, thank you, I appreciate you, it just doesn't like resonate with me as much. So I'm taking your name and I'm diving into one of the books for you. And I pick out a sentence or two and I give you a little message that is in alignment with your highest good. So today it'll be from either the Gateway of Light book or the Animal Apothecary book. So that's what it is. I'm not giving you some random unsolicited advice. It's being channeled through the books. So, Christine, thank you so much for your donation. I will see you guys on Friday. Sending love to all. Namaste. Enjoy celebrating how far you have expanded this past year. I hope that video was just as insightful for you as it was for all of us. Darla and I really appreciate you being here with me. Thank you for liking this video, sharing it with a friend who you think would benefit, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, drop a comment and let us know what you got from this video. What was your biggest insight or takeaway? If you want to see what else I'm working on, click on my link tree. It's right underneath this YouTube video. We'll see you next time. Take care.